This is the pound CAD on the 60 and I'm involved in a low and tight flag. It's actually taken me quite an amount of time to validate this and I'm going to talk through why. First of all, here is the swing in the market, very directional, and you can see the market has adhered to the trend line, and as per the educational material we need a minimum of 4 touches, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need the entry candle, which is a red candle, and it's a nice high test candle. And the market needs to be bearish, and we are clearly bearish here. So let's just talk through this trade, and to do that I actually need to load 3,000 days of historical data. So we'll give this a minute. Okay, we're back. So let's drop back down to the 60, bring back on the orders, and just redraw this out. So we've got our directional move, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a structure level on at the close of the candles and the high of the wicks. Okay, and this here is our price reversal zone, so this is where we're going to be looking for structure to be held, and I'm going to put one down here as well to make sure that this isn't a double bottom. And what we're going to do is look left, and I want to show you this resistance level where those two lines are, because we've broken structure and we have a lot of resistance. And let's just keep going until we come to those zones. Okay, so here is the first one. So we've got 1, that was 2, here we have 3, there is more, there's a lot more. Okay, this is what I'm interested in. Let me zoom in here. Look at how we've done a double test here, 4, 5. Now because of this wick, that's 6, that means that this one here technically held, that's 7. We violated there. This held, that's 8, and because of the wick this means that that held, that's 9. And we're just going to keep going, and we're going to zoom in here. Again, if you can see that wick, that means that we technically did not violate structure. That's 10. We've got a test here, that's 11. We're just going to keep going. Big wick here, 12, another here, 13. Let's just keep going. The more we have, the better this is going to be. Okay, I don't think there was anything else then. So we've got 13 tests where we've violated that structure to the downside, and we've come back up and held it. So that's 13 areas of resistance. Now let's check out the bottom, which will confirm whether or not this is a double bottom. So we've got 13 tests as resistance, historical resistance, and along the bottom we have, well, that was violated, that was violated, there's nothing here, that was violated. So you can see that this is not an area where we can look for a double bottom. So by default we have to say that this is a low and tight flag, and there's nothing down on this lower line here. So even here, in fact, because of that wick, that was a test, so a single test, just a single test there, guys. So yes, I'm looking at this being a low and tight flag. My problem was on the 240 or the daily is we were at this 160-200 psychological number, and I can't take them at psychological numbers. However, on the pound CAD there is a every 100 like every candle on the 240, so that's something that I've always taken into account. And if you look here, you know, just to show you, look on the 240, there's 100, there's 100, there's 100, and we have to allow for this. But if we go to the 60, that 160-200 psychological number, we have broken below it. So for me, this is a valid trade. Okay, it's a big one, it's worth a lot. So I do like that high test candle. Throw the 127 on for potential targets. and we can remove these now and just clean it up a little bit. So we're looking at, in terms of risk, then I've just gone 10 pips above the high here, so 39 pips of risk, and I am front running by 8 pips because of the psychological number 160-100. So it's 39 pips here for 120 pips of reward on this low and tight flag, where we are very directional, we are in trend. Fingers crossed we can get the continuation.